Hello and welcome to Epic Blocks. Today we are going to build another simple, fully automatic farm. However, I will note that this farm is not designed to work in your spawn chunks. You could, of course, build it there, but if you left the area, it would not continue to run, because this farm does require our grass to continue to grow. As you can see, we have some sheep here, and they periodically eat the grass, but it will only regrow when that block receives a random tick, which only happens when a player is in the area. So we do need that for this farm to work properly. So it is, again, only going to function when we are in the area, or another player if you're on a multiplayer server. Anyway, as you might have guessed, we are going to build a wool farm. As you can see, all of my sheep are white. I do like white wool because the primary purpose I'm going to use it for is for trading. If you have a villager with a loom, you can take the job of a shepherd and you can trade wool for emeralds. But he will be limited in the colors of wool that he can accept, particularly at level 1. I find it best to just use one color of wool. But of course, wool also has a variety of other uses. Maybe you want some carpets or just some other colored decorative blocks around your home, your base, whatever you're building. And again, there are additional uses as well, but for me, I primarily want it for trading. So we're just going to stick with white wool. And to build our farm, we are going to need these materials. By the way, I put the grass block here. If you happen to have silk touch or some other method of getting grass blocks as opposed to dirt, that will make your farm start working a little bit more quickly from the get-go. But you can build this all with just regular dirt blocks, of which we are going to need about 1 stack. And nearly 1 stack of leaves. I've got 61. We'll need a hopper, and we'll want a double chest. I've also got here 2 redstone torches and 2 redstone dust. By the way, I do want to mention that this farm is based off of a video for ianxofour. I've made a couple of small modifications that I think make the farm work a little bit better for me at least. And this is one of the big differences. He uses 1 redstone torch and 1 redstone dust. So I have doubled that. The trade-off being that I think my build is a bit more convenient to keep going for the long run. And I'll come to that later. For this build, we are also going to need 12 glass and 10 trapdoors. We will need 1 water source. We'll need anywhere from 1 to 12 pistons. I would probably recommend about 3. I'll put these all here for now, but I won't actually use all of them. To get started, we are going to need at least 2 sets of shears, which of course shears are probably the easiest way to get oak leaves. Well, any leaves for that matter. We'll need a button, a lever, or we could use an additional redstone torch, something to emit a power signal. I just grab a lever here as one of the easiest things. I just need a stick and a piece of cobblestone to create that. And we'll need 2 dispensers. And then you see I do have a second chest here. This is just as additional shears. We do not need these, but you will see towards the end how these apply. And to keep this farm running, we would eventually want to add additional shears. All right, and to get started, we're going to go ahead and pick a spot just right around here. And I'm going to dig. Oh, I forgot I'm in creative. Let me fix that real quick. There we go, survival. And now let me go ahead and dig down a spot. This will of course get us just a little bit more dirt. Put a redstone torch there, and a redstone dust there. And we want, let's see, let's move this out of the way for now. Want a dispenser on top of that redstone torch, looking this way. As you can hear, it just created that cycle, creating several ticks, but of course there's nothing in the dispenser right now. We're going to go ahead and put 1 set of shears in. More will go in later. All right, and with that, let's go ahead and build a perimeter here. All right, we've got 6 open spaces in the middle, and we're going to put leaves on top. There we go, and we're going to add some trapdoors. We want to put our trapdoors kind of on the outer circle away from the dispenser itself. When this redstone gets triggered, our burnout clock, we don't want it to actually trigger any of the trapdoors. But we're going to put them on the leaves. So 3 on the sides opposite the dispenser, and then 1 on each of the sides to the right and left of the dispenser, but nothing actually next to the dispenser. And we're going to flip all of those down. We'll come back to those later. And let me go ahead and add, let's go and put a block here. Oh, and I forgot one more thing. We are going to need, to lure our sheep into place, we're going to need some wheat. So let me go ahead and move those there for a moment, and I'm going to jump back into creative. Because I don't have any way of getting wheat here without this game mode. Let's see, is it under food or is it under, I think it's under the natural blocks. All right, well, we've got our wheat here. Let's go back into survival. And I'm going to go ahead and release the sheep on this side. And I'm going to lure them into this pen. I left a couple behind. There we go. They, of course, think they can walk on the trap doors, so they should fall right on in. Perfect. And they fill up that space perfectly. All right. Now, if you watch Ian's video, he's going to put a second pin on this side. He did do his redstone slightly differently. But I'm going to build a second pin on this side. Alright, we're going to break this block. Oops, nope, not that one. How did I do this? I'm forgetting something already. Nope. Don't want the shears in there yet because it's going to go to work. There we go. Remove that block and put in our redstone torch and our dispenser and our redstone dust. That, of course, triggers the burnout clock. And we're going to add some more leaves. And we're going to need the other 5 trapdoors. Again, we want the trapdoors on the sides farthest from the dispenser. So we've got 3 here, 1 there, and 1 over here. And let's go ahead and add in a temporary block over here as well, and we can release the sheep. Fall on in. There you go. Come on. Come on up. There we go. And now we have 6 sheep in each of the pens, and they'll push themselves into the proper positions. So that's us done with the wheat. And next we're going to put glass blocks over top of each of the trapdoors. I'm going to shift so I don't click that trapdoor, and we're going to put one over this spot as well. And we're going to do the same thing over here. And we're going to add a dirt block over each of the pieces of glass. And I'm going to put dirt blocks in the middle. We'll come to that in a moment. Now, this is where we want to put the pistons, but we want them facing a particular direction. So let's put a temporary block there. And now I can place a piston pointing downward. I can break that one. Place another piston there. One there. I'll do one there. Actually, I'll come back to that one later because I said I would do this with about 3 at a time. I think I mentioned that. I'm going to hold off on these 2. Nope. I do need at least one of them. Let's put it there. Now let me go ahead and put my lever in. When I trip this lever, it's going to should hit all 3 pistons, pushing the dirt and the glass and the trapdoors down. And the glass is going to kind of lock those sheep in place with each of the trapdoors, pushing the sheep ever so slightly towards our dispenser. That way this dispenser, when triggered by the burnout clock, can shear the sheep. It'll be able to reach all 6. And the wool will actually jump upwards because it'll clip through the glass and the dirt. We'll build that all in later to make sure that it goes straight up. And there we go. We can see we triggered all 3 of those pistons. And if we kind of look down there, we can see the glasses down there blocking the sheep in place. Alright, so now that we've done that, let's go ahead and recover these pistons and the lever. And we're going to want to do the same thing. On this level, I'm going to add another temporary block there so I can get the piston going the right direction. Block drop this way. I must have grabbed it already. Okay. And there. Now I'll put our lever on top again. Now we could of course flip the lever, but it's not going to make any difference there. There we go. And once again, let's put a temporary block up here. Actually, let's go ahead and do the inside first. I can use that same temporary block in a moment after we do this row. There we go. Now, of course, you could do this all one piston at a time, but that would feel like a bit more work. Of course, we don't actually need any of these pistons in the long term, so if you're short on resources, go ahead and do one. A little more tedious, but it'll still work. And add the lever on top. Now, I think I'm going to show real quick. If we were to put the lever on one side, I think it's just going to hit these two. Oops, lost the lever. So we can put it in the middle or move it over here. I guess that one done. So again, yes, you could do this one at a time. Absolutely no problem with that. Gather up our pistons. We are now done with them. There we go. And we are going to fill in the rest of this level with dirt. Now, the reason we want dirt here is because it's going to make it so that grass can grow downward. But, there we go. So, as you can see, we've got grass on this level that our sheep are eating. We can't actually see the sheep anymore. You could use glass instead of the leaves, but I rather like this. We don't need to see the sheep in this particular case. Anyway, grass can grow downward from here to the grass that the sheep would be eating, and we do need that grass to grow to trigger the burnout clocks. But of course, we don't have any grass up here yet, so we're going to build a ladder. Now, grass can of course grow from here to here, and from here to here. So eventually that'll come up, and it'll go up this way. Put another block there just so it can go here to here, and if it goes this way first, that can also start spreading. Anyway, now that we've filled that in, we're going to build this up a little bit higher. Now the leaves will not prevent the grass from growing underneath it. Glass should work there as well. Okay, we're going to skip. So this was our corner block. We're going to skip one. And we filled this all in now. And we're going to put a water bucket here in the corner. And that's going to end right on the edge. Alright. I should be able to just drop down. Okay. Now let's go ahead and put in our double chest. And our hopper pointing into the chest. So whenever the grass grows, it's going to trigger our burnout clock. And we're going to go ahead and put in the shears now. And the wool will clip upwards into that water. There we go. I think we may have been a little slow. I'm a little worried. Let's go ahead and force this. Thought I heard shears, but anyway. There we can see the wool going in. So now this will work on its own in the future, but if all of these sheep, oh, there it goes. Let's say it had taken me a little bit longer, and all of the sheep had, well, they'll eat the grass anyway. Yeah, so they'll randomly eat grass. They don't need to be sheared and have their wool regrow in order for that to do anything. So anytime they eat the grass, and then the grass grows, it's going to trigger the burnout clock. And I'm going to put another block there, so we can sit up here on top and kind of watch. But yep, the sheep are going to eat the grass will regrow, that'll trigger the burnout clock. The dispensers will shear the sheep in front of them. The wool will clip upwards into the water, where it'll be directed into the hopper and into our chest. As you can see just from the little bit it's done already, we have 23. Sounds like a sheep just ate some grass, so hopefully we have the grass regrowing soon. Now notice, none of the grass has grown up this way yet, but it should grow up through the grass, through the leaves. We could add some additional blocks on other sides. So let's put one here. Let's do one there, and one there. So now the grass should be able to grow to each of these blocks and start spreading upward. And that will make it so once these all turn into grass, it'll make it so that the grass below the sheep grows a little bit faster. Alright, so I've been sitting up here for a while and I've noticed that the grass isn't growing. Let me check a couple of things here. So that's growing, and we can see that it is extending under the leaves. By the way, we have gotten nearly 3 stacks of wool, and it's been, what, 35 minutes I think I was sitting up there. And we can see our shears are still looking pretty good. Each of them do get used a little bit. And now, this is one of the nice things about my build over ianxofour is that I can reach my dispensers, whereas Ian has his in the middle, and you have to dig into the middle each time to reach the dispensers. But he gets away with just 1 redstone dust and 1 redstone torch. So, from what I'm seeing here, it looks like the grass won't actually grow while the water is flowing. So let's just go ahead and scoop that up for a moment. Now if any wool comes up, I'll place the water again real quick, send the wool back into the hopper in the chest, and then pick up the water again. Let's see if some grass starts to grow into this area. Alright, looks like it took just about 10 minutes, maybe slightly more, for the grass to fill in that whole section. And the water won't get rid of that grass or anything, so while it seems grass cannot grow into a block that's covered with water, I believe it can still spread. So that will make our farm work a little bit faster, make sure that the grass down here that the sheep are eating regrows a little bit quicker. And in that 10 minutes, we went from nearly 3 stacks to a bit over 4 stacks of wheat. And again, one additional thing we could do here. So let's say that we wanted to leave this farm so we could put more than 9 shears in. You could always replace this block with a hopper and then put another hopper in this spot behind it, and then put a chest on top, and you could drop more shears in. The hopper itself, of course, holds several slots, so that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you'd have 5 shears in this hopper, 5 shears in the hopper here, and then another chest, possibly a double chest of shears. And you could do the same over on this side. So that would be an awful lot of shears that were all set, and you'd actually need more than a double chest to collect all of that. I don't think we need to add the extra hoppers. We can certainly come back in and add more shears as these start to go down. They do wear down at a fairly similar rate, but you can see that this one is a bit more used than, say, this one. They all get used. Eventually they'll all start to wear out, but 1 or 2, maybe 3 of them will wear out before the others, and you can start replacing those. But anyway, that is our farm completed, and it will generate an awful lot of wool without us having to do anything except remain in the area. Anyway, thank you again for watching. This has been Epic Blocks.